Hello, this is Beth. Hope you're well today. Today is the Saturday, the 8th of January. Now, the reason for this little video I'm making now is because, for those who know, today is the birthday, or would have been the birthday, of David Bowie, the very famous pop star, singer, etc. So the reason why I thought I'd make this video is to sort of like in honor of him. He has passed, but obviously he leaves a huge legacy, totally interesting, and a lot of fans that very much miss him. So I just thought I would do a video in honor of Mr. David Bowie. So let's have a look. What should we do? Okay, right. Now, I will mention about my experience quickly. Now, like I said, I'm quite private myself. I don't like to give away loads of in-depth details. But, okay, about a year ago in February, I started to experience the feeling of Mr. Bowie around me. Okay, now, I am not used to experiencing anything in terms of spirit guides and things of like someone that's a celebrity. Yes, I've had guides. I am used to guides. I'm a spirit guide reader. Of like Confucius, great teachers, Merlin, angels, I don't know, gladiators, archers, seamstresses, nuns, monks, some of which are very famous and some of which are not, saints even. I come across all these things, but for me to suddenly have a guide come through really strongly that is someone that I knew when I was younger, that was a very famous person, it's quite a different matter altogether. So I had to quite like work through a lot of issues myself here. But actually, at the end of the day, there's absolutely no reason why a celebrity that's passed cannot be a spirit guide. If you think about it, anyone that's on a particular level or of awareness or that we connect with can actually act as a spirit guide to others. Now, and also David Bowie was, he had various different sections of his career, didn't he, as well? He was a performer in many different ways. He was not just considered very futuristic with regards to his music and very experimental, but he was also an actor, an artist, and he sought to convey how he felt. So that was very, very important. Now, okay, so coming back to this, now what I thought we'd do today, I'm just going to go through one or two of my little things here. Okay, show you first. Obviously, again, like I said, this is mainly a Crystal Skull channel because they will be at the centre of everything I do. So this chappie came to me last year and his name is David. I named him in honour of Mr. David Bowie, okay? Not saying that he's absolutely exactly the same or anything, but he is named in honour of Mr. Bowie and he's a totally fantastic little person, or big person. He's huge. He's the biggest one I have. Yellow and purple banded fluorite. So to be honest, I need to do a little bit more work with him, but he is very strongly connected with Melchizedek and with other very high function, well, very highly high frequency guides. That was how I should describe that, really. So this is David, very beautiful. He always reminds me for some reason, and I need to go into more depth of, in the Bible, like Samuel. Samuel in the temple and how he was hearing things and listening to God. So that's just really important. So I'm going to come back to him in other videos. I've already done one on Bembo, so we will come back to David because he's so interesting. But I mean, my intuition on this one is that he has a connection with me, or else he wouldn't be here in the first place. But he has also had a strong connection with Mr. David Bowie, because we have to remember that celebrities are human beings. Okay, we often put them up on pedestals and worship them or whatever we do, but actually at the end of the day they are just people. At the end of the day they are people, but they've tapped into something within like the, I don't know, call it the general consciousness of humanity that has helped them to rise to the surface so they can be seen on many different levels. So okay, coming back to this. Okay, so that's David. Now, working with the Mr. David Bowie as a guide. Okay, now this is Saul. Now Saul I've had for a couple of months. He's quite different. Okay, now I choose my crystal skulls in many different ways. Usually I feel drawn to the crystal, or I absolutely love the carving, or there's just something about them that's very special, or they just talk a lot. So they come to me, it's like they choose me. Now this little chappie, I've seen him before. It took me a while to buy him, to bring him towards me, but he's really, really interesting. But this is the skull that sort of David guided me to pick. So I need to do some more work and see about the connection here with this. So, I mean, like I said, this is Seoul. Now, it's spelled very similar to the city. Well, it is the same spelling as the city in Korea. So, you know, we have much to learn from this. I definitely need to learn and do some more work with this one. Okay. Now, I also have the Bowie cards here. Again, it's the Starman Tarot. So I thought what we could do, seeing as it's obviously Mr. Bowie's birthday today, is draw a few cards, just have a look at what's going on generally with things. So again, these cards are amazing. They are tarot. I tend to read them very much like oracle cards with tarot thrown in. Visually, they are stunning. Absolutely love them. They tend to open a lot of portals in the mind. They also connect me to other worlds, portals, extraterrestrial, other dimensional places and things like that. So let's put this down, and I'm going to draw some cards, and we'll just take it from there, and we'll see what's happening. Okay, we'll draw 3 cards because that seems to work. 3 is always a good number. It's the 3 is the Holy Trinity. It's the number that's all the way through the Bible. 3, 6s and 9s. Excellent numbers. Right, let's see what we have. The first card is the Prince of Wands. Now that one came up actually in my last reading I did. So we'll look at that one in more detail in a minute. The central card, we have the 7 of Cups. Oh, interesting. Okay. And then we have the Prince of Swords. Okay. Now that's really interesting because we have 3 male cards come up here today. Now this Prince of Swords, what's he doing? As I would normally read that slightly differently, but I need to go with the imagery that's in the cards here. Well, that's an interesting connection for a start. So I will explain that to you in a second, what I've just seen there. And I think while we're here, I'm just going to draw one more card, see your outcomes. Which is the 6 of Pentacles. Now, some of these energies are similar to the cards I drew on New Year's Eve. Okay, so we will still have the remnants of that too. So let's just go with what's come up in the cards. Now, these 3 main cards I've drawn are all masculine energy cards. So they're all to do with being active, male energies. The first card is the Prince of Wands. Here we go. Now, very psychedelic, this card. And again, it also is, like I said, show you again, up here. There's like faces in the background. Totally interesting. It's like spirits coming through very strongly. There's things going on just behind the surface that we can't see directly in front of us. But there's things happening all the time. I think at the moment it's quite a dark phase of the year. This morning when it rained here, it was virtually like nighttime in this flat. I've never seen it like that dark before. It was almost like having an eclipse. So, but I mean, it's just the middle of winter. But the thing is here, this card, there's lots of flows, greens of blues, lots of lovely flow, lots of fire energy. Those lines, also very interesting. Now, the central card is the 7 of Cups. Now, for anyone that knows tarot, those lovely bright colours, like matches my top, look. Hey, interesting. I should put that on just now. And the glasses. Anyway, okay, so lots of lovely yellow at the central card. Good fortune, abundance, success. Though the 7 of Cups normally is to do with confusion. Confusion, not knowing what we want, being confused, lots of changes. Not a surprise, again, at this time of year. It's dark, there's a lot happening, things are going on. We don't really know what we're wanting. So that is what's happening. Nothing to worry about. It's a temporary card. The next card is obviously slightly more, I wouldn't say it's negative because no tarot cards, oracle cards are ever negative, okay? That's not how it works. But it's taking us deeper and within. It's like we have the, that looks like a raven to me here. Let me show you. Not the nicest of cards if you're looking at angels and fairies or anything. But if you look, it's a male character. A rocker, of course. Lots of dark hair. Now, we have the raven there, so that's about going deep within. Swords is always to do with thoughts, making decisions, and it's the prince again, isn't it? So we've got the prince here. What's that one? Cups, wands, right. So quite a mixture. We've had wands, cups, and swords. So there's a good balance of elemental energies. What I am seeing with all three of these cards, though, don't know if you can see it. Come in close. Look at his face. Do you see the lines in his face? It's hard to see. The lines are there. Just as these lines are coming in up here and down here in the card. Slightly more difficult with this one. This one's more sacred geometry. The lines are more equal here. They're not like flowing lines. They're not just like bars or lines like they are with these ones. Like so, coming back to this again, see his face again up here, and even here, look on his tummy, those lines. So what does that say then here? What is the significance of this? So this is what I'll need to be finding out a little bit more about. I'll be doing a bit more meditation guidance. Can you see his eyes glowing there? Don't they look beautiful? Just because it looks negative doesn't mean it is. That's usually down to our own conditioning. All right, so it's not about anything to be afraid of. It's about going deep and finding out the truth of the matter. So I'll be having a look at that in more detail very soon. And I will post up when I find out more. I don't really know why his eyes are glowing blue. It's just the way the light seems to be falling on them at the moment, because they never look blue normally. Interesting. Okay. The outcome card for this is the Six of Pentacles. Now that did come up in my last reading. Again, you got that lovely yellow, like my top here, or my scarf actually, and the glasses. But yeah, good fortune, success, positivity. I mean, what that's saying is things are looking tough at the minute, but they are going to brighten up within the next few weeks. It's the middle of winter. It's deep. It's dark. When you get these deep, dark nights, it takes us within. We go within. We go deep. We have to. That's the way it works. But things are going to brighten up within the next few weeks. I would give it a couple of weeks yet, but it will start to brighten up. By the time we reach sort of like going into February, at least halfway through February, everything's going to seem a lot lighter and a lot brighter. So there we are. But it is the Six of Pentacles, which is about moving forward in a nice way, developing courage. We have the tiger here, so strength and courage and grounding as well. He's got a good like, his feet are like roots. So that's about like, yeah, really grounding ourselves. The more we ground, the higher we can go spiritually. So we are able to make that connection much more strongly. And with all these abilities opening up, our psychic abilities, we need to make sure we're well grounded, that we look after ourselves and we're healthy, because otherwise it's going to be hard to cope with all the energy, especially until it settles down a little bit more. But that is so nice. All right, so okay. Now, obviously, I've noticed that we are now going on to 13.5 minutes, and I don't want these videos to be very long, because I've noticed that the longer they are, the less people watch the whole thing. And it's the same. I tend to watch the shorter ones anyway. So what I will say now is thank you for watching. And happy birthday to Mr. David Bowie, who has basically taken part in this video with me. So thank you for watching. And, you know, if you should experience similar things to this, you know what I'm talking about then. Obviously, if you don't, you might think I'm totally mad, and that's fine. But I'm just living my truth and speaking the truth. And that's what we all need to be doing at this moment. Okay? Anyway, have a lovely evening. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and take care. And I will see you soon. Okay, bye.